For being here. Today we're going to talk about the nominating petitions circulating in Pennsylvania. Today was the first day these went out. And I guess for voters, the big question, why are they important? And Charlie, we'll start with you.
Well, it's an interesting question, Tanya. And, you know, go to voters' houses and they say, what'd you do wrong? Why do you have to get a petition signed? But whether you're running for president of the United States or local committee person, you have to get these petitions signed. Today's the first day. They have 2 weeks to circulate, 3 weeks to circulate them. And then there's a challenge process. But in order to get your name printed on the ballot, you have to get these signatures. So if somebody shows up at your door, be nice to them.
Exactly. Tony.
It's just the basic ground level, how to qualify. If you can't get 100 of your neighbors to say you should run for office, someone ought to blow the whistle on you.
Right, exactly. And is that the baseline, 100?
Right. Well, it depends on the office.
Depend.
Okay. Statewide, it could be 1,000 or 1,500, right?
And in different counties. Statewide, you've got to get a certain number of signatures in different counties, but to run for local committee person, you only need 10 signatures. So it depends on the office.
And these are some big offices are open this year in the election process. So now does every office have to circulate these nominating petitions?
Every single one.
Okay, so again, Charlie says if someone shows up at your door, be nice to them.
Yes.
Okay, we're going to move on now to talk about retirements. A lot of retirement announcements were announced in both the House and the Senate. What does this mean for Pennsylvania?
Well, for Pennsylvania,
no, it's good. At the federal and the state level, but particularly at the state level, there's going to be some key leadership posts opening up in the House and in the Senate. Bob Mello, the longtime Democratic leader of the state Senate from Scranton, for instance, is retiring after about over 30 years. So its leadership vacuum needs to be filled, but also opportunities for people who are frustrated with government. There's going to be some new blood. I would say there's going to be a significant number of people who've in the legislature come 2011 who weren't here in 2000. We'll have almost a majority, right?
Oh, yeah, there will certainly by that point, particularly with the cycle that we went through after the pay raise, there will certainly be more people that are new than there were before, which is different for Pennsylvania's General Assembly.
Right. Now, does this open up the arena for a shift in power, so to speak?
It does, and Tony neglected to mention that most of those retirements, both here in the state and nationally, are Democrats. You know, you
that's not true, but that's okay.
Look at Evan Bayh out there in Indiana, who would rather
There's still more Republican senators retiring than Democrats.
Live to fight another day, and you know, Bob Mello leading the Senate does open up a huge hole. It's a vacuum that has to be filled.
So, Tony, you say there's more more Republicans. Now, does this worry Democrats as far as that power shift?
I think that every incumbent is worried going into this election. Whether you believe in the teabag movement or not, you do know, everybody knows that there's voter dissatisfaction out there with incumbents. Right. Whether you're a Republican incumbent or a Democrat, you've got to prove to the voters that you need to be sent back.
All right, of course, something we'll certainly be covering very closely with our political insiders. Charlie, Tony, thank you so much for joining us today.
Good to be with you.
All right, Rob.